chariots drawn by 2, 3 or 4 horses. And it was, if you have seen the film Ben-Hur, you can understand which kind of spectacle was performed in the Circus Maximus, which was exactly on the left. Was the race for the cure, something of medicine, I think. They usually, because there is really, this is only the area of the stadium, because there is nothing left, only at the end on the left few steps or seats. The ruins you see belong to Septimius Severus Palace. Septimius Severus, he was Roman emperor in 205 roughly, and the ruins are also of an ancient imperial palace of Domitian, Emperor Domitian. So on the left we have Hill Palatinum, Palatine Hill, 50 meters above the sea level, and it is the first place where the first inhabitants of Rome lived up. They lived in simple huts, and on the other side, at the foot of the Palatine Hill, they used to bury their dead, so it was kind of cemetery, and later on burial place became a Roman square, Roman forum. But we don't see the Roman forum from here. We will be able to see a little bit the beginning of the Roman forum when we go to the Colosseum. Colosseum was started in 72 AD, so in the 1st century after Christ. Emperor Vespasianus, he started to build the amphitheater with his 2 sons, Titus and Domitian. So 3 members of Flavian dynasty built the first stone amphitheater of Rome. In the 2nd century, the Flavian amphitheater the name was changed into the Colosseum because of its colossal dimensions, and also because there was drawn the statue of Emperor Nero at the beginning of the 2nd century, and the statue of Nero, 37 meters tall, was known as Colossus of Nero, and it was cast in bronze and gilded with real gold, and it was drawn by 24 elephants near the Colosseum. The Colosseum has the form of an ellipse, 564 meters around, and 55 meters is the original height. It is on restoration. The external part was already finished, and they are restoring the inside, the internal part, and we suppose it was built by 50,000 slaves, and it could accommodate 60 to 70,000 people. If you look to the left, you have the area of Circus Maximus on the left, 600 meters long stadium, which could shelter even 250,000 people when it was enlarged by Emperor Trajan in the 2nd century AD. We have to cross the street at the traffic light, and walking few minutes reaching the Colosseum. We have Palatine Hill on the left and the arches of Aqueduct of Claudius, Emperor Claudius Aqueduct. After the traffic light, we will get off and go to the traffic light, cross the street and walk to the Colosseum, which is in front. We have in front, exactly now you can see the Arch of Constantine, built in 315 by Senate and Roman people of Rome in memory of Emperor Constantine the Great.
But it's awesome because otherwise here we have only the Palatine and then behind it we have the...
Dia kan lagi mencari komunitas yang banyak. So kan coba-coba orang Arab kaya-kaya.
This bridge, which looks more as a modern bridge now, but it was the very first bridge to be built. And we will reach the area, the archaeological ancient part of Rome. Emperor Titus was already able to organize the first games, which took 100 days, everyday spectacle, and 5,000 animals were killed. I didn't tell you, in the Colosseum there were fights between the gladiators or gladiators against the animals. Unbelievable number of animals were carried into the Colosseum 3-4 days before downstairs, and there was special system of elevators to carry up the animals during the performance, and they used lions, tigers, rhinoceros, shoes, moccasins, for example, toads, T-O-D-S. Those are by design, or this is the business of Diego de la Valle. He has also many leather production, everything extremely expensive. In front to the left, temple dedicated to Portunus. Portunus was protector of ports, pagan divinity, because in this area in ancient Rome there was, first of all, there is the church of St. Nicholas, inserted into 3 pagan temples, and the building immediately after the church, it is theater of Marcellus, very similar to the Colosseum. It was built 1 century before the Colosseum, started by Julius Caesar in the 1st century BC, and then it was finished by Augustus. Whatever Julius Caesar started was finished by Emperor Augustus. Augustus was the first Roman emperor, Gaius Octavius, and he got the title Augustus. Yeah. We are at the foot of the Capitoline Hill, which is on the right. Another important hills, of 7 hills, 7 Roman hills. Capitoline Hill since ever was political and religious center of Rome, and the people climbing up the steps. The stairway was designed by Michelangelo, the first one, the right one, and the other one, 134 steps, Roman Gothic church, St. Mary of the Heavens. And at the Capitoline Hill, there is also town hall, office of Mayor, Lord Mayor of city. We are approaching very large square, Venice Square, which took the name after the palace we have just in France, Venice Palace, built in 1450, Renaissance Palace. The loggia with 3 arches we have in front, no, 6 arches, St. Mark Church, which belonged to the palace, Venice Palace. Venice Palace because it was seat of ambassador of Venetian Republic when Venice was republic. On the right, big monument with a equestrian statue of King Victor Emmanuel II in the center. This monument, all of white marble, was built to celebrate the unification of Italy, which was in 1681. Under the King Victor Emmanuel II, Italy was unified as a kingdom, but later on in 1946, Italy was proclaimed republic. And since the year 1870, Rome is capital of Italy. On the left, Venice Palace, built for one cardinal who became Pope Paul II. It is designed Alberti, Raffaele Alberti, Renaissance architect. On the right, the building of province of Rome. Italy is subdivided in 21 regions, and every region has many different provinces. For example, Rome is in the region Lazio, Latium in English, and the province of Rome. Climbing up the hill of Quirinale. Look to the right now. We turn left, but look to the right. You will see wonderful Trajanus against Dacians. Dacians were the people living in today's Romania, and it was in the years 100, 102, and 108 and 109. Trajan was winner, and he had this wonderful column to be erected, marble column. In that way you will see also Presidential Palace, Quirinale Palace, because we are now up the hill. Quirinale, one of 7 Roman hills, the highest one, 58 meters above the sea level. In the center of the square there is an Egyptian obelisk we have just in front, with 2 statues of mythological figures. Castor enormous. It has wonderful gardens inside, wonderful rooms, and it was built formerly for it was also the seat of royal family. Look to the left. This is really wonderful view from here, but we cannot normally stop here. and the palace is on the left. It's a long arm, of course, so said a long arm. Martino Longhi was architect, 16th century, and later on it's been enlarged. If you look to the left now, where is the small town, you should see the special guard, special presidential guard. It's only, it's always very, just a short, I told you to slow down. And the presidential guards must be 185 centimeters minimum.
100?
Tall.
100?
185.
85?
Yeah.
So,
Berapa kak?
185.
Swiss guards also have the Swiss guards in Vatican. They have uniform which has weight 4 kilo. Imagine. Baroque is architectural style, 18th century. It was built, designed by architect Niccolo Salvi in 1732, and it is inserted into the building. What's unusual, it's been recently restored, so you can see it very well in its beauty. And when we come in front, of course, the main figure is God Neptune on big shell, drawn by seahorses and tritons. And it is supplied with water by an ancient Roman aqueduct dating to the 1st century BC. But the fountain 18th century.
Wow.
There is habit to go down to the water and throw, I say, 2 coins. One, because you should come back to Rome, and the other one because you can have a wish.
F3?
I know the song is 3 coins. 3 coins in the fountain. My colleagues, they say you have a wish to marry. Second, you have a wish to divorce. And the third one, you should come back to Rome. No, I don't speak about divorce. Not. The building on the right, this is an exhibitions palace built.
Let's go!
Stop, Kenny.